Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at, and I'm here with another crypto update, and we'll be talking about what's actually happening in crypto world. As you guys can see in front of me, I'm having, where is it, Bitcoin, and here we have an hourly chart. As you guys can see, we have came up to what, 52.7, 53 actually almost. Then we came down and we are trading right here in this 47,000 area. I'll just readjust this for now. So a lot of people having a question, are we going up? Are we going down? Honestly, there's two possibilities. First of all, we do have this red candle, which kind of almost an indication we have to come up and trade it. But at the same time, there is a possibility of a J hook, which we see right now, and it actually can turn into a spillover and continuation down. Also, possibility of it actually going up and turning into a cup and then spilling out, or turn around and continue climbing further. So possibilities are varies, but what is the most likely this going to happen? Guys, it's hard to tell, other than we are seeing right now we're having a pullback, which is kind of typical for to make that happen during the New York time session, especially lately. So let's look at 1 hour, see what do we see on 1 hour. On 1 hour, we still see that came out, but right now we are rounding down. And this round down is bigger than, as you can see, most of the round downs that we've seen previously, which there starts indicating as if this continues, we're probably going to have that spillover with my churn into one of these. I'm not sure we're going to see much on 15-minute scale. Pretty much, as you guys can see, still the same. That churn around, we kind of have a double M, and it's kind of looking a little weird. Let's go back to 4 hours and see what do we see compared this one and this one. A lot of you probably thinking, are we coming down to 29,000? Guys, I do not know, but if this turns into another spillover, we're probably going to find ourselves somewhere around 38,000 or so. So that's just what it possibly can be. Now I want to actually touch a couple other coins, but especially I want to talk about CELR network, since this is the coin that I have been trading for the last week or so, and has been nicely performing since it kind of hit right here, this area. We kind of see the constant growth non-stop. The coin has already performed over 488%, which is almost 5x since it hit the bottom when the Bitcoin hit the bottom at 29,000, and since then it's been traveling non-stop. Second, since the coin is a small value, the percentage are quite big when it grows. But I want to actually have you guys see something very interesting that I seen yesterday. And I want you guys to what? Hmm, there it is. Look at that. We do not have markers on this, so let me switch to this one. This one has markups. Reset chart, and we're gonna go to 15 minutes. Would be good, doing good. We're gonna go a little bit to bigger screen. Here's the markups, and kind of watch what happens when who's opens up. Sydney opens up. So when Sydney opens up right there, we immediately start seeing it slow. As you know, here's New York. As New York releases, see as New York slowly was pulling it down, kind of holding it in a trading tunnel. As New York releases it, it immediately gets that growth. Sydney comes in, gets hold of it, but it continues to have that growth, but not as fast as we had the growth right here. Then we have Tokyo comes in, and Sydney kind of slowly pulls it back. Tokyo comes in. We start having more serious movements as it continues going sideways. Then suddenly Tokyo takes us up, pulls us back, and Sydney closes. So probably there's a possibility that Sydney actually pull it back as Tokyo pushed it up. As Sydney closes, which this one right here is Sydney. Sydney closes. We have another push by also Hong Kong right here that actually come into play. Pushes it back up as Tokyo drops out. Hong Kong pulls it back down. By that time, we have Europe comes in and opens up. As Europe comes in and opens it up, we also have part of that drop as well. That Europe is responsible. Then as Tokyo, Hong Kong shows up, we have this nice growth when, which I believe by that time is New York. Who's actually why not all charts here have the names? Who's opening, who's not? Interesting. So we kind of get this growth. Then the New York Brinks comes in, which then New York comes in here. As New York comes in, we start having a pullback, and we have again controlled trading all throughout New York. When New York falls off, we immediately start having a drop. Right now, Cindy opens up on this candle, and we will see what Sydney will do, which Tokyo Sydney here, which Sydney kind of had a controlled rise, so we might have a continuous controlled drop coming on the CELR network. So that's what you guys see on a 50-minute chart. I want to actually right now bring it out to an hour chart. I'm sorry, on a daily chart, and kind of look at it on a daily chart. What are we going to see on this one? As we see, it's a continuous climb. And as you guys can see, if you watch the candles, we have a push up, pull back, a push up, pull back, another push up. At all times, we have been traded 3 days in a row in the same area. So as we can see right here, we had a 4 days trade. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm suspecting is this thing can possibly pull back all the way up to here within no. So we're probably gonna have another candle that's gonna pull up probably into to here, and then have a push and start having another push up. So those are possibilities. I'm sorry. Traders Reality, I guess, just went live. So that's what we can see on an hourly chart. So there is a possibility that the seller network might come down all the way down to 9.9 cents. That is if Bitcoin doesn't start having a major collapse. So those are the possibilities. I am actually in a long trade, but I'm about to flip that long into short. So let's look at a couple coins and see what are we seeing here. We had a nice growth, pullback, a push up, and right now we're having pullback due to Bitcoin is kind of not acting. But one thing I'm for sure, as Bitcoin stabilizes again, we'll have another nice pump on Phantom. Sol has been pulling back from its crazy 800% growth, and I'm pretty sure somewhere in this area right here, they'll meet up with 50 EMA, and it will start pumping again. Luna, it is trading based on, and it's kind of bouncing here. So unless Bitcoin collapses, it might pull it further down. Otherwise, we might have another couple more trades to the side before another push. I would definitely try to get somewhere in this area into a trade if you're looking into going with another push. But watch Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin starts collapsing, you want to get out of the trade before it takes it with you to roughly about $20 or maybe even as low as 14. Depends how low Bitcoin decides to go. But this will be also a nice way to buy it cheaper and take another ride up. AVAX has been nicely pushing for the last 2 days. As you guys can see, it came in, reconciled, had another push, reconciled, and it pushed up again and set a new high, which even as we can see, Bitcoin and a few other coins have been staying in red. AVAX has nicely been pushing up for the last 2 days, and I believe as long as Bitcoin roughly stays in its area, it might actually push further up to, in another 24 hours. Dent. This is the coin that I've been telling you guys. Watch it, because one day it will surprise you guys, and I believe surprise is coming. It's coming up to this trend line where it's going to start sitting on this trend line and start pushing up unless Bitcoin collapses. It will start pushing, and from in one moment you guys are going to see something like this, like right here. Came up, bounced, and then just took off. Harmony is another coin that nicely pushed up. Right now it's kind of looking for its low from where to bounce. I personally believe the low might be somewhere between 59 to 13.4, and from there it'll bounce and go for another push. Seller we already talked about. Algo had another nice push. Let me actually recalibrate this thing. So right there, roughly about. So Algo took a nice flight up. Right now it's looking for itself, and I'm pretty sure as it's looking for itself, will take another churn and go up. It has touched its 13 EMA. From here, next couple days is its flight going up. As you guys can see, it's one of the few coins that actually are in green since last night. Atom another nice coin, came up, came back to 50 EMA, came out, get another push, and I'm pretty sure we might have another candle coming down trying to hit the 30 EMA before it gets another push up. And of course, we need to readjust. And right now it's a 325% growth. ADA has been trading sideways, but at the same time, as you guys can see, this trend, when we had a big crash recently, about last two weeks ago with Bitcoin, it came down, hit the trend line, barely broke it through, pushed back out. Knowing ADA, and I have traded ADA for a while in the past, ADA might get stuck in the zone for a while before it gets another push up. But at the same time, it might just take off again. HBAR. I'll tell you guys this. Some of you guys might regret that you guys have not bought the HBAR, even though it has not performed as much as some other coins. But it did the 2.6x, almost 3 times the price from its bottom. And it's kind of steadily will continue grow. Right now it's just pulled back, but give it a couple days, it will find itself and push back up. If not, in the next 24 hours, we might see another push. Bitcoin, as we talked, has two possibilities, either spilling over right now from this J hook, coming up, turning into a cup, and then have a spillover, or level up to the next level. So there's possibilities, and a lot of coins depend on Bitcoin behavior, what it will do next. I did add XRP to the list, even though at one point I did remove it. XRP has not been looking excited lately. Let's add a ruler to it so we can see where it was. Oops, wrong one. Why is that? There it is. Because I was grabbing the wrong one. So XRP only did 1.7x, that's 176% from its low to high. Has been trading sideways, pulled up, created new high, and has been pulled back. When we had that Bitcoin big pullback, it's kind of pulled back, and right now it's kind of sitting below this area, trading sideways. This area right here is what's holding it. This area became a resistance, and right now holding it from breaking out, and we'll see what happens. Honestly, doesn't look exciting. It has also broken its trend, and some even might believe this is the head, this is the shoulder, before we drop again. Renew, or RAN, is another interesting coin. Hasn't done so much, but it did about 343%. Came up, came down, traded in this area, was pulled back by Bitcoin, as you guys can remember. And then recently, the last couple of days, it just taken off and started running. Here's something with the RAN for those of you guys that looking into possibly trading RAN. It has a possibility coming down all the way down to about between 87 cents and 90 cents. Bouncing from that, going further up. That is if Bitcoin continues doing going sideways as it is. If Bitcoin's forever reason starts dumping, we might actually see RAN going further than this down before actually recovering. So those are actually some possibilities with these coins. As I did mention, the CELR network, which I'm in, probably, as long as Bitcoin keeps going sideways, there's a possibility it might come down to about 9.9 cents and then reversing and taking off again. So be blessed, be wise, be smart, and be successful in trading.